This jungle, there's a reason that the indigenous don't even live in this area of the world. One of those reasons has got to be the ants. It takes no time at all, and they were crawling all over you, all types of ants, big black ants which bit, and believe me, they're painful. Ants communicate with each other using pheromones, chemicals that are secreted or excreted, and trigger a social response in members of the same species. Because most ants live on the ground, they leave pheromone trails on the surface of the soil that may be followed by other ants. An ant that gets crushed will emit an alarm pheromone, causing nearby ants to react in an attack frenzy, signaling even more ants from farther away. As you can imagine, there's an enormous amount of ants on planet Earth, and I've heard that if you take a balance and you put the weight of the human race on one side, the ants would balance it out. That's how many ants are on planet Earth. The most critical thing that all of us dealt with, and the most intense psychological thing that we had to overcome, was the lack of water. Each day our trek has been geared towards finding a supply of water, and twice the porters have had to go in about 50 meters or more and find a source of water. And I'm going to show you what the water is like here, untreated. It is, yeah.
But there's nothing.
Even the use, mine's empty too.
Yours is empty?
Yeah. I have just my...
No porter's got any bottle of water. So, it's very difficult to see, but this is not clear water. It is brown, and we've had a SteriPen that we've treated it. A SteriPen is a device that you insert and stir the water with, and it kills the bacteria and the parasites and the viruses in your water. It doesn't clean the water, so we were still drinking this brown water with sediment in it. We realized we have about 4 miles to go the next day before we ideally get to this logging road, and at that point we're going to call for help and get the GPS coordinates and have a driver come and pick us up. We pull our water together, Will, Tibby, and mine, what is left in our water bottles, and we pour it all into one water bottle, and then we divvy it out amongst the three of us. And it's about 3 ounces of water that we each have to get from 4 o'clock that day until we leave the jungle, which is about 4 miles further in the jungle. And at that point, it becomes even more psychological of a challenge than ever before, because you realize you have this much water and you want to drink all of that at that particular point in time. And you know, so it's getting to that point that we're not sure exactly, you know, if our bodies can handle this. We're following the marks of the trail that the guides had made when we came in, and so it's a pretty clear shot for us to get back out. Tibby decides to look at his GPS to see, you know, how much longer, how many more miles or kilometers that we have. And he realizes that instead of going straight out and following the trek out, the tracker has inadvertently directed us to follow the course that we were taking when we first came in. So we were going further and further away instead of going out of the jungle. And at that point, this hopelessness came across everyone, and including the guides who had no water left. You know, it was just one of the most discouraging times, and we all fought back the tears because, you know, you wonder, you know, are we going to make it out of here? You know, is the path we think we're following really the path that we need to follow? Are we going to be stuck here another several days and trying to live without water. You have no choice but to keep moving, and the more you move and the faster you move, the more you sweat and the more dehydrated you become. We just kept telling each other to keep moving because if we stopped, we would die.
I'm exhausted.
We're in survival mode.
Yeah, we're definitely in survival mode. It's 5:15, and we've got to get up so early because the bees start coming out. But we have about 1.3 kilometers doing this kind of thing all over, so it's probably going to take us close to 3 hours. And we're all not only exhausted, but we're all dehydrated too. We have no water. And you start playing mental games on yourself too. Ants are everywhere. Anyway, onward we go, and hopefully we'll get out today. As an explorer and an adventurer, you know that things are going to come up, and you know that you're going to have a lot of challenges, and we just never even imagined the challenges that we've had in this jungle. The guy's hands are swollen. One of the guys, the porters, their hand is probably 3 times as big from being swollen, and I'm constantly thinking about the EpiPen and the Benadryl we have, and I think for the safety of everyone, we just need to take a break and get on out of here and regroup and see what else we can do. But there's so many beautiful things here that every time we stop to try and film, the bees and the ants just overwhelm us, and they make it impossible. I've heard that there's other sections of the jungle that we can go in at different vantage points that the indigenous say that the bees are not so bad. So we need to first call Emilion right now, probably.
There's no phone reception.
I am so dehydrated. It's beyond anything I've ever experienced in my life. It's just, and you have to keep plugging. So I guess we'll be walking down this road and getting some water here.
Along every logging road are eco-guard stations. We had no idea how far away a station might be, but we did know that if we sat and waited, it could be days before anyone came by. So, once again, there was only one thing to do.
It's exhausting even to get up.
Walk. We all have struggles in life, and sometimes they're physical, and sometimes they're mental and psychological and emotional. We were experiencing all the above, and we realized that you have a choice. You can either keep moving forward, or you can give up and succumb to your circumstances. There were points when we all wanted to give up. But we were a team, and when one member was weak, the others were strong, and we always pulled each other up, and together we persevered. 4 miles. It was 4 miles to the EcoGuard station.